out there again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with an exclusive episode of Sideshow TV. So sit back and relax, because we have got some big announcements. Once a year, hundreds of thousands of people descend upon San Diego's Comic-Con. And every year we are there in full force, with a slew of our new collectibles, including our Comic-Con exclusives. This year there is quite a lineup. Scott Clowder joined us recently to show off each of our exclusives. First up, from the dead, subject 16566, The Butcher.
Sideshow Collectibles is proud to present the next figure from the dead, subject 16566, The Butcher. Continuing with our tradition of Comic-Con exclusives, fans can look forward to our release of The Butcher this year at Comic-Con San Diego 2009. In the development of this figure, the Sideshow Collectibles art team took advantage of the new Prometheus body, with fully sculpted hands and forearms that attach at the elbow to give the figure a more detailed look. The hands on this figure are absolutely disgusting. They've got multiple slash wounds and even a couple of puncture wounds, almost as if he's missed what he was chopping and hit his own arm a couple times. One of the great things about the hands also is that they were sculpted as though the character was a heavyset character, so the fingers are a little bit pudgier to go along with his double chins on his really pudgy portrait. Now the Butcher Zombie's clothing is just bloody and disgusting. He's got an apron, it's just covered in blood as though he's been chopping steaks all night, or maybe he went after an unsuspecting victim and got splattered. He's got a jumpsuit on underneath that, with a t-shirt as well underneath the jumpsuit, and then underneath all that, what Sideshow has done is we've created this fat suit, and it gives his body the appearance that he's obese to go along with the portrait sculpture. And to continue with the decay, you can see that the Butcher's face is just covered in all kinds of pock marks and sores. His teeth are all crooked and disgusting, and his eyes just have this blank stare to him. As with all the dead figures, one can put together a story of what might have happened to this character by looking at all the damage on his face and his hands, as well as seeing the accessories that he's holding on to. Like you can see that he's holding onto a butcher cleaver, as though maybe he changed into a zombie in mid-stroke. And to help round out the display for this figure, the Butcher also comes with a severed pig's head, as well as a food preparation sign. From Sideshow Collectibles, The Dead, this is subject 16566, The Butcher, the San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusive.
Definitely a worthy addition to the Dead collection. Up next, what's better than Luke and Han together again? Luke and Han disguised as Stormtroopers.
Sideshow Collectibles is proud to present our next San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusive, Han and Luke, disguised as Stormtroopers. This set is a two-pack. It includes both Han and Luke as they were seen in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, when they were going to save Princess Leia from the clutches of Darth Vader. Both figures feature Stormtrooper armor. All the plates on this armor was made using hard plastic, so it gives it a really crisp, really beautiful look to it. They also have the standard Stormtrooper blasters, as well as the Stormtrooper holster that's made from leather and has a little magnet to pull the strap down. Both figures also feature a cloth undersuit as well as a cloth neck seal. Now the interesting thing about these two figures is instead of going with the standard Stormtrooper helmet, what the Sideshow Collectibles team has done is they've made these figures so they can be displayed holding these helmets. Now the difference is that this helmet isn't the standard helmet that you would see on the other Stormtroopers. Inside it you can see all the fine detail, the padding, the eyepieces, the mouthpieces. It's just a ton of detail on the inside, but it's not made to actually fit on their head. It's for a display piece. One of the interesting features about the Luke figure in particular is that his belt wasn't a standard Stormtrooper belt. It had some extra gadgets on it. So the figure here you see comes with a comm link that's set on the front that he contacts C-3PO with, and then on the back there's a grappling hook. The grappling hook is displayed closed inside the belt, and there's also a second grappling hook that's open that you can take the closed one out and replace it with the open one to make it look like he's getting ready to use it. Both figures come with the standard Stormtrooper blaster, which is really, really high detailed. The stock even folds out on it. It's just a great piece. And the figures are both topped off with stunning likenesses, the portraits of both Han Solo as portrayed by Harrison Ford and Luke Skywalker as portrayed by Mark Hamill. They are an absolute must-have for any Star Wars fan. This is certainly not a year to miss for the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. From Sideshow Collectibles, this is the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, Han Solo and Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise, from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
First a regular Stormtrooper, then the Sand Trooper, and now these. Wow, what a lineup so far. Crossing platforms now, we have an exclusive diorama from Lord of the Rings.
Sideshow Collectibles is proud to present the next in our San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusives. From the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, this is the Mount Doom diorama. This diorama depicts Sam and Frodo in their ascent up Mount Doom so they could destroy the One Ring. By this point in the film, Frodo was so fatigued with bearing the ring that Sam decided to pick him up, sling him over his shoulders, and take him up the hill himself. This diorama really captures the gravity of the moment from all angles. Just the sheer pressure that Sam's under with carrying his best friend. The weight of the world is pretty much on his shoulders. By this time, both of the hobbits had pretty much shed off all their extra equipment. The only thing that they had other than their clothes was Frodo's sword, Sting, which is also being carried by Sam on his belt. No detail was missed in this truly dynamic piece, from the finely detailed rocks on the base, to the exhausted portrait of Frodo, as portrayed by Elijah Wood, to the determined look on Sam's face in his defining moment as Frodo's best friend. Sideshow Collectibles is proud to present to you another edition in our 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, the Mount Doom diorama from Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
A lot of story in that one. Now, shifting gears into villains.
Sideshow Collectibles is proud to announce our next exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con 2009. This is our Crimson Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe. Now you'll notice there's a lot of similarities between the blue Cobra Commander that we've already done and the red one. The difference is we wanted to go with more of a ceremonial type uniform, and we decided to go with the crimson color scheme as an homage to the Crimson Guard. The Crimson Cobra Commander's ceremonial uniform features his shirt, his pants. It also features his cloth holster and ammo pouches, which have working flaps that have Velcro on them, as well as the working Fast-Tech buckles. His belt is a faux leather material, and then the belt buckle is the Cobra emblem, which is really cool. And then he's got a ceremonial dagger that comes out of the sheath, and the chain for the dagger is actual metal chain. A couple of the great features about the cape is not only is it this huge regal looking cape, the interior of it is lined in black fabric. There's a chain, a metal chain that actually holds the cape onto his neck. And then there's a wire that goes along the outside seam of the cape, so that way you can pose the cape and make it look like it's flowing, or make it look like it's standing straight up. Any way you want to pose it, you can do that with a wire in it. We decided to make all the logos a silver metallic color. So there's the silver chest logo, and then there's the silver logo on his mask. There's also a large silver Cobra emblem on the back of his cape. Crimson Cobra Commander also features his 3 standard weapons. There's his 50 caliber pistol, there's also his MP7 submachine gun, and his classically designed laser pistol. From Sideshow Collectibles, this is another addition to our San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusive list, the Crimson Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe.
Those eyes, so menacing. Moving on to a very special exclusive for this year.
Picture, if you will, hundreds of thousands of innocent people gathering to celebrate at a pop culture mecca in San Diego, California, and you are one of them. Now consider a force of nature traveling through Comic-Con with a sense of death and destruction that only an indifferent zombie can conjure. This next 2009 Comic-Con exclusive is that of the Dead persuasion. He made his wandering debut during Sideshow Spooktacular 2007 and has plagued numerous Sideshow events since. This vinyl collectible figure celebrates the Dead icon by paying homage to the birth and return of the zombie with a black and white paint application and an extremely limited edition size. Now collectors, hear my warning. Those of you with air filling your lungs and a pulse running through your veins, you must remember to always be ready with this piece in your collection, for one never knows who Mort will name next in whimsically fatal confrontations between the living and the dead.
Finally, a Mort collectible. All of these exclusives have extremely limited edition sizes, so be sure to keep your eyes open for attendee and non-attendee pre-order information. Well, that about does it for this edition of Sideshow TV. This is Rex Darkley, video aficionado, signing off, and we'll see you at the con.